Hello, Libra, and welcome to your October 2020 mid-month reading. And I was trying to figure out whose reading I was going to do next, and I decided to play with the cards and let the cards tell me which one. So initially the Fool popped out, and I was like, okay, I already did Aries, so is it the polar opposite? Is it Libra? And I was like, let me pull another deck just to make sure. And then Justice jumped out, so I'm like, okay, I get it. So we're gonna go ahead and get into your reading. We're gonna take a look at the past, the present, and the future, as well as the core reason for the energies and also the potential outcomes. So let's get into it. And thank you again for all the likes, the views, the shares, the subscribes. Thank you for the love. I really appreciate it. I took a break for the month of August and September and a little bit of October in the beginning because August is my birthday month and September is also Virgo season. So I just took a break, enjoyed the last little bit of summer, and got the nurse one back in school. So we're gonna ask the Divine Creator to show us what has been going on in Libra's past, what's going on in the present, and what will be happening in the near future for the month of October 2020. Thank you. What is the core reason for the energies? And what is the potential outcome? So in your past position, you've got the Ten of Wands. Presently, you have the I know I was looking at this wrong. The Nine of Swords in reverse. And for your future, you have the Five of Wands. And the core reason for the energy is the Seven of Swords. And the potential outcome is the Two of Swords in reverse. So there isn't a lot of color going on here. This deck here is very powerful, and there's some cards that have a lot of rainbow hues to them, and here I'm just seeing plain black and white. And with Libra, there is no gray area. It's either it is or it isn't. And there'll be an energy of not really making any types of decisions until you know what is the best potential outcome for all parties involved. I'm channeling that message. So in the past, with the Ten of Wands upright, I'm seeing here a lot of restrictions in as far as movement goes, being held up, not held back, but held up, and taking some sort of action, but still having a clear vision, understanding why it is that things aren't really moving or going according to plan, but still keeping sight on the goal. And presently, with the nine of swords in reverse, that to me it's looking to me like you are finally getting a handle and a hold on some deep, dark, deep-seated fears, anxieties, thoughts of how you are perceived by others. Really getting down into the core of where those ideas of having to present yourself a certain way to the world, and getting rid of them, really uprooting them with all of these worms, these earthworms in this card is telling me that this is something that is under the surface. So there's a lot of drilling down into the truth of a matter, seeing things for what they are, and then conceptualizing that, and speaking your truth because of a sort of clarity that you have come into realization about a certain situation. It could be involving a person, place, or thing that is not necessarily the ideal situation. It could involve some form of violence, violence against yourself, violence against others. It could be surrounding a death of someone in and around your atmosphere, or having to do with a woman. And yeah, with the 5 of Wands in your future, seeing here, this is usually a conflict card, and I'm almost going into a meditative state, trying to really drill down into this present energy. It is very heavy. It is something that has been needing to come to the surface for a while. Usually the 5 of Wands is a conflict card, but here to me it seems like the conflict is over, with the wands laid out in all different directions and not being held up in any way, shape, or form. So things are coming together. There are plans that are being pieced together in the future that is going to lead to a decision, some sort of vocalization in the future about who you want to be. And the overall energy driving this overall situation is the 7 of Wands. So this to me is looking like something being hidden. There's a secret that is not being revealed. There is some sort of truth that you are not accepting. So we're gonna go into the energies a little bit more with clarification from the Oracle deck. But you know what? I'm also feeling like I need to get into the Rider-Waite. So a universal weight. So we're gonna get some clarification from the Energy Oracle deck on some of these cards, especially the Nine of Swords here. Spirit is not allowing me to visualize the traditional Nine of Swords in my mind because I'm really having to tap into the energy of this card. So no longer being weighed down by a secret truth. Spirit, can you clarify this Nine of Swords in reverse for Libra, October 2020? So man holding a coin in reverse is clarifying this. What's coming up for me is this may be tied into a financial situation, and it may have something to do with a father figure, or a male significant other who is or was unable to provide financially for you. There are some blockages there that are tied into this, and I feel strongly that this is inner childhood wounding, as this came up today in conversation. So this is a theme for today that I was not seeing in the cards, but I'm seeing it now. And yeah, there's something along the lines of your upbringing and what your environment taught you about a provider role. So whether you are the masculine who is needing to adopt a role of being a provider, or whether you are a feminine and you have some idea, or you have been brought up a certain way in how a man should be a provider, you're needing the theme that you have been taught and that you have known is now being revealed as something that needs to be worked on presently. I'm going to clarify this Seven of Swords as the core reason for Libra's current energies in October 2020. Spirit, clarify the Seven of Swords. So you've got daughter value coming through here. So with this revelation that'll be coming forward in regard to finances and a male figure, there's going to be an opening to abundance, multiple money streams coming in, and also just a re-evaluation of what is valuable to you, what you consider to be of value, what you value, period. You may have been driven thus far by material things, acquisitions, money, jewelry, and looking good. And I mean, it's you're Libra, you're ruled by Venus, so you love luxury and expensive things, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, when you really drill down into why it is that, outside of the fact that you're ruled by Venus, why it is what experiences you had as a child, what you saw or what you lacked, and how it is driving you today to acquire certain things or be in a certain position of power. I heard you're going to, when you accept something that is hidden or something that you're not willing to examine and really understand, and face the darker side of that, then the daughter value will be open unto you, and you will understand that abundance is way more than just what you can see in the physical. Not that you don't understand that, but you may forget to value the things that aren't of physical possession. So you may take people for granted. You may take relationships for granted. You may take the abundance of love that you have for granted. You may take God's grace over your life for granted. You may have had certain situations where you should not have walked away from, or be alive to talk about, yet and still there you are. But I feel like with the day-to-day grind, you tend to forget about those times when God showed up and showed out for you, and that may be a cause for some financial blockage that you are experiencing currently. So can we clarify this 7 of Wands for the Libras? There's a little gnat crawling around on the cards. This little gnat has been flying around my plant because I think I overwatered it. My plant here, I think I overwatered it, and it's been flying around the plant since I've been doing readings, but this is the first time it actually came and was like walking all over the cards. So it definitely walked all over the 9 of Swords in reverse, and then walked over to the door of value. So yeah, things that need to be revealed will be in time, and the attitude of gratitude is going to serve you very well, Libra. Clarify this 5 of Wands. Okay. So the cornucopia of blessings came out in reverse, but I'm going to take an upright because, like I said, there's a strategy being put together in order to bring forth this blessing. If you are working on something, you may have 5 potential projects that you have going on, or 3 currently, and then you will be presented with 2 more. You may be feeling like it's a lot when you do come across all of these opportunities, but Spirit is telling you to keep moving forward, because around November and early December, you will see some return on your investment, or you will see the fruits of your labor really coming through for you there. Also clarify this 2 of Swords in reverse. There will be a renewal during the month of November. Some form of change is coming. Okay, appreciation came out with the 2 of Swords. So any sort of indecision that you may find yourself in the future, in the near future, Spirit is asking you to step back and just be appreciative of the fact that you have more than one option to ponder over. A lot of times we are not given an option, and we just have to go with the flow. So in these times when we have more than one option, it really is a blessing, because it just shows how abundant you are in whatever situation, whether you feel that it is good or bad. Being that you have more than one road to take, just shows how much you are in favor, because either way, the Creator is always with you. And also, when you come to these moments where you don't know how to make a decision or which direction to go towards, seeing here that getting out into nature is going to serve you well. You should ask your questions out into the universe while you are on a nature trail, or in and around any form of nature. You will receive an answer. You may see butterflies. If you see a butterfly after you ask